Hello everyone, my name is Debbie Jones-Snyders and I'm from the Hopedale Presbyterian Church. I'm delighted to welcome children and families to our church school lessons and crafts. Our story today is Saul, or Paul, becomes a Christian. And this is adapted from Mission Bible Class with images by Free Bible Images. We have several coloring pictures for you and we have two crafts. The first is Paul's vision on a camera, and the second is a poster. Paul sees the light, and I've just partially done it here for you. We also have a variety of other activities for you. So to contact the church, please contact church office at hopedalechurch.ca, and you can obtain the templates for the activities by contacting the church that way. So our story. So before we start into our story, I want to talk about what would you do if you heard that there was someone in your town who was trying to hurt all Christians. You know, we might have to meet in secret places. You might need to use secret codes to tell other Christians where to meet. Now, has anyone seen a symbol like this? It's actually a fish. And early Christians used this symbol to represent Jesus. And they used it as a secret code so that religious leaders who didn't support Christians and government leaders wouldn't know where they were meeting. Now, this way, they were protecting themselves. In the book of Acts, we read about many people who became Christians. There were also some people who were very angry that anyone would follow Jesus. And one man, Saul, got so angry that he even killed Christians. So the story, Saul or Paul becomes a Christian. Saul was born in the city of Tarsus, but he grew up in Jerusalem. Saul was very intelligent and he studied many religious books. Saul's other name became Paul. Even though Saul believed in God, he did not follow Jesus. He was an enemy to the people who followed Jesus. Saul wanted to destroy the early Christian church. He even dragged people out of their houses and put them in prison for believing in Jesus. Once Saul asked the high priest in Jerusalem for letters so that he could take them to the leaders in the city of Damascus, and then the leaders there would help him arrest Christians there. But when Saul was walking along the road to Damascus, something totally unexpected happened. A bright light shone down on Saul and made him blind. Then Saul heard a voice say, "Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?" Saul heard the voice, but he could not see the person speaking. "Who are you?" he asked. And then he heard the answer. "I am Jesus, and you have been persecuting me. Now get up and go into the city." Saul was shocked. This was Jesus. He had been hurting, persecuting people that believed in Jesus. Now Saul knew the truth. He had been very wrong all of this time. The other men traveling with Saul saw the light, but could not hear the voice. Since Saul was blind, they led him to the city of Damascus. Ananias was a Christian man who lived in the city of Damascus. Jesus came to Ananias in a vision and said that Ananias should go and meet Saul. He would be waiting in a house on a street called Straight Street. Ananias was very frightened that Saul might hurt him. Ananias said, "But Saul has been persecuting Christians." In the vision, Jesus told Ananias that he had chosen Saul to do a very important job. Jesus had chosen Saul to be the teacher to the Gentiles, and these were all the people who were not Jews. So Ananias went to Straight Street and found Saul. He touched Saul and said, "Brother Saul, Jesus, the one who appeared to you on the road, has sent me so that you can see again and be filled with the Holy Spirit." As soon as Ananias said this, something like scales fell from Saul's eyes, and he could see again. Then he got up and was baptized. Now that Saul knew the truth about Jesus, he wanted to tell everyone. He preached to the people in Damascus and even traveled to Arabia to tell the people there. But not everyone was happy that Saul was preaching about Jesus. Some began guarding the city gates so that they could catch and kill Saul if he tried to leave the city. But Saul's friends had a great idea. Late one night, they put Saul in a basket and lowered him over the wall. Saul escaped. Even though Saul had changed, there were still many Christians that remembered how he had once been their enemy. In Jerusalem, the Christians just did not trust Saul and did not want him to be with them. But a Christian named Barnabas believed Saul had changed. He asked the apostles and the other Christians to accept Saul. So Saul continued to do what Jesus had told him to do. When he used to live in Jerusalem, he told people not to follow Jesus. And now he told them that they should follow Jesus. Soon Saul was in trouble again. The other Christians took Saul to the port of Caesarea and put him on a ship heading to Tarsus. After this time, there was a time of peace for the churches. Many more people began to follow Jesus. When Saul met Jesus, he stopped doing bad things and he began to follow Jesus. What do you think Jesus wants you to do? Follow him. We have several activities for you, depending on your age level, interest, and abilities, and you'll need to print the templates. There are several coloring pictures, and here's one with Saul, the one with the sword, who becomes Paul, the one with the cross. And here's a coloring picture of Paul being blinded, and another one of Paul being healed. So we have two crafts, and here's the one with Paul's vision in a camera. So you see, you can tell the story. The strip moves through. So the first picture is of Saul persecuting the Christians. And then if you can tell the story about how he has the vision. He is blinded and then he is healed. And then he goes and he preaches the word about Jesus. So in order to do this craft, you will need to print the template. And you can see, and you will color the pictures, the camera and the strip of pictures, and cut them out. And you can see that the camera has some dotted lines. So in addition to the template, you will need scissors and things to color with. So once you color and cut out the pictures, then you see where these lines are, you'll need to cut those out. And once you've done that, you can take the cutout strip of the story and then you simply put it through the camera, just as I have done here. You'll need to put the picture strip through the camera so you can tell the story. The second craft is a poster of Saul's vision. And I have not quite completed it here, but just to give you an idea of how to do it. You can have some strips coming down from the sun so you can show that the bright light. So in order to do this poster, you will need construction paper, you will need things to color with, you'll need the template, you'll need scissors, you'll need glue. If you want to hang it up, you'll need to have a hole puncher and some yarn or string. So print the template, color it, cut it out, and glue Saul at the lower corner here. Get some yellow construction paper and cut out the sun and glue it there. Then what you can do is get some strips, cut some strips, yellow strips for the bright light, like this. You can even get some, I've cut out some bits of ribbon as well for something shiny. And you can glue on the strips of bright light and the bits of shiny ribbon to make something really spectacular. And then once you've glued those on, you can use the hole puncher, punch holes in the top and tie a piece of cut string or yarn for your picture. So there you have it. We have some other activities for you as well. We have some mazes. This one's a basket maze. We have a crossword. Another crossword. We have a word search for you. And a unscramble word activity. Yeah, I have some answers as well. Okay, so this week, remember, sometimes we are blind to the truth, and Jesus helps us to see the light and to see the truth. Have a great week, everyone.